What's up, YouTube? In this video, we're going to be diving into something for absolute beginners to flash photography. A lot of beginners, they see flash or they try to use flash and they're not happy, because it's the flash is too powerful, things aren't balanced. So I'm going to walk you through balancing flash with your ambient surroundings to make everything look decent. I'm not going to be using diffusers and all the extra stuff that costs more money. This is just basics. Hopefully this helps you out. Let me know in the comments below. Let's just dive right in. Alright, so, I skipped. Alright, so, to start things off, I started this whole thing using absolutely no flash whatsoever. Zero, zilch, no flash. You can see my settings here, f8, auto ISO at 1/160th of a second, 17 millimeters on my Sigma 1770 f2.8 to 4 DC macro HSM. And I was using TAV mode on a Pentax camera, which is the equivalent of manual mode with auto ISO. Because I wanted to do a few just in auto ISO, just to show, if you are experiencing varying exposures, like say it's sunny and then the clouds start rolling through, sometimes it's easier just to leave the ISO at auto. However, that can affect the exposure. And then I added flash after I'm at 1/4 power. My camera actually allows you to manually control the flash output from 1/128th power all the way up to full 1/1. So this is just the onboard flash now. And I'm going to take a picture of myself again. Look at that smile. And yeah, so after this, let's see, what came next besides my neighbor leaving? Then I went down to 1/16th power. Because I did find that the flash, it was a little too much. It was fairly balanced, but it still did end up being a little too much on that end, so I wanted to even it out a bit more. So there I go again with the remote. Boom. Didn't work. So let's try it again. See, this is the thing. Anything can happen. Sometimes you just look like an idiot. You're pressing things and nothing's working. So anyway, the next one is 1/60th of a second in full manual at f8, ISO 160. What I did was I exposed for the background. Okay, so I got my exposure dialed in for the background, then I put myself in the image. So this image here, I'm going to be a bit underexposed, but the background will be pretty well exposed. There may be some blown highlights here and there in the clouds, because it actually was a pretty difficult sky to deal with. Nothing was consistent. Deep shadows in the clouds and then, really bright highlights and whatnot. So now I introduced the flash, and after this, you're going to see that I actually am fairly well exposed, eventually, because my camera was, it's some cheap jobby infrared remote thing that I have. Why is this like I'm pressing a detonator? Anyway. So yeah, sometimes it did take a couple of button presses to get it to actually fire the camera. Now from here, let's see, what was I doing here? I don't even remember. Oh, this is horrible. What was I doing? What does that say? I think I dialed the flash power down one stop. So before we were at 16, I think I was at 116 power before, and I believe I dialed it down just a smidgen. And now I'm going to put the main flash on. Eventually, once I pull it out of the little package holder thingamajiggy bobber that it actually has. And no, I am not recording this on my Pentax camera. I'm just using my smartphone. I don't know. I just wanted to do something different. For what I'm trying to do, this was just easier to set up. I've got this massive tripod and this little tiny phone thing, you know, this little LG 5 phone. I don't know what this, what is this? What is this? Anyway, all right, so I've got my Godox TT350p mounted to my Pentax K3. See what I did there? That whole thing rhymed because it was about time that somebody kept on this Pentax grind. Okay, so here we go. 1/8 power on the flash. Now, I did have the head tilted slightly up. Wasn't quite 45 degrees, but I wanted to show light fall off on the flash and how much just that slight change in position can change everything. Remember, this video is geared for beginners, so I'm trying to give examples of, you know, things that you can run into and how subtle changes will make that much of a difference when you're using flash photography. So I dialed it down to 1/16 plus 7, which is an option on this flash. Most flashes you can do just in full stops, so, or halves or power levels. So most flashes, it would just be 1/16 power. That's it. Because I did notice that when I did shoot it with the head slightly up, where I was actually illuminated up here, actually, you know, unfortunately, that was brighter than what I was expecting. So now what I've done is I've actually brought down that little panel, the wide angle diffusion panel, which spreads the light out more because you need a bigger light in order to have a softer light. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. And yeah, so you've seen the actual images. And, you know, that's pretty much how shooting with flash works when you're trying to balance it all out. Always expose for the scene, get your subject, and then you introduce the flash. You adjust your settings accordingly in order to get the perfect balance of the background and the subject itself. Now, I didn't in this video, I didn't get into the advanced subject of, you know, making a black background if it's white and all this other stuff. This is just very, very basic, just to get you comfortable with shooting flash. Don't be afraid of it. Don't think it's going to bite your head off. It's not. It's not like a wild animal and you're trying to take its food and it's going to eat you alive or anything like that. Flash really isn't that difficult once you understand how it works. That's pretty much it. So hopefully you liked the video. Hopefully it helps you. If you did like the video, leave a like. If you have not already, please do subscribe. It helps me out. And if you have any questions, comments, leave them down below. If you'd like to support the channel, I leave that at the very bottom of the description just so that I can let you all know how to go about doing that. And you guys will see me on my next video. I'm out.